name, everybody has somebody pop into their mind that is obsessed with Harry Potter. Maybe it's yourself, could be a friend or family member, or maybe it's just that one kid in high school that made fun of for being obsessed with Harry Potter. Well, I am one of those people. I've loved the series since the first movie came out in 2001. I've read the series 5 times. I watched the DVDs so much you would think I don't own any others. I have gone to the midnight premieres, the releases of the books, and I've been to the theme park in Orlando. My whole family loves Harry Potter, as you can see here. Everybody is pretty excited except for my dad, who was just complaining about his thighs shaking and how expensive everything was. Now, everybody knows someone like me. Everybody knows. You can't deny the Harry Potter franchise is extremely, extremely successful. Today I'm going to explain to you why it's so successful. Everybody's always asking, why do you like it so much? How is that such a good series? Well, you probably haven't read the books, and that's why. So I'm going to explain to you how it's successful because of the author's writing style, the longevity of the series with new releases, and also the subplots and stories that almost anybody can relate to on some level. Now, we wouldn't have this speech at all if it weren't for J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. She's an impeccable writer. Her writing style has been praised by many. And the reason that I can tell that she's so successful, she's still writing more books than Harry Potter. She's made plenty of money. She does not have to make any more. But she's writing because she loves to, which is one of the good signs of a new writer. Here she is holding up her new book, The Casual Vacancy. It just came out on the 27th. And in an interview that she did for the British newspaper, The Telegraph, she was actually talking about it. There were $2.6 million in pre-sales. The book hadn't even come out yet, but she had already made $2.6 million selling the book. Now, since it's come out, obviously it's sold a lot more, and it's doing really great just because everybody wants to see what can she do after Harry Potter. The reason she's so successful is because she's a good writer. It's not because she's writing about magic or teenage love. It's just because everybody knows she's a good writer. She's also told The Telegraph in the interview that I was referring to that she is going to plan on writing more children's books after the initial extreme fanatic frenzy over The Casual Vacancy subsides. Now, I just wanted to mention that the Harry Potter series, all the books that she's written, like I said, they're successful. There have been sales $7.7 billion just in the books worldwide. That's according to statisticbrain.com. They've been translated in 70 languages, and they're sold in 200 countries. That is a sign of a successful book. Now, since the books were so successful, obviously a movie had to be pursued because we're going to make as much money off of them as we can. I'll show you here. The most important part about the books and the movies is that they've been coming out every year since 1997, with the exclusion you can see of 2006 and 2008, even though the year prior had a book and a movie release. This is something extremely successful and special about this series. No other franchise can really truly say that they've gone this long and everything's been as expected as it was in Harry Potter. It's not like Spider-Man or Indiana Jones where maybe there's a new movie, maybe one will come out. We always knew there was going to be another book and another movie until about the last part of last decade when we all declared ourselves to sleep. I'm referring to 2007 when the book ended. At least we still had a few more movies to keep us going, and then last year we just all kind of gave up on life because it was over. See, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. We were very sad. So just, like as I said, you can see that the longevity is what makes it so successful, that we always had something in the public eye, whether it's a book or a movie. All of its frenzy and fans and the excitement was renewed every single year for 14 years. It's hugely, hugely successful. And that's why this franchise has made $24,751,000,000. I can't even imagine having that much money. But just from, that all started with one book, which I think is incredible. Now, since we all keep watching it, we're still talking about it even after it's all over. But why do we do that? It's because we can all relate to the story on some level. I'm going to go ahead and put a list up on the board. If you see any of these things that you've experienced in your life, go ahead and please raise your hand. And I have another page, so I'll keep going. Okay, so you can see that most of you have all experienced something that we read about in Harry Potter. That's why we keep going back to it. We all have something to relate to, whether we just want to get another dose of teen love or we really want to just learn about grown-up stuff in a children's book setting. This is how we can do it. People keep going back because there's something that everybody can relate to in the series. Through the decade of book releases, the fans were evolving. So obviously, in the first books, we started with lighter stuff, like making new friends. And then in the last book, we ended up sacrificing your life for the good of your entire world, which is incredibly heavy. But you can see that we've all grown with the series, which is what makes us have such a special bond to it. I did read a Time article that was just published in August. NPR had polled 75,000 people. In 2012, 5 years after the last book, 5 whole years after everything had ended, it's still the top young adult novel. You can tell that this is going to stick around for a long time. So I showed you how J.K. Rowling's writing style, the longevity of the series, and also the stories that everyone can relate to have made it successful. So I hope that when you go home and you're texting the Harry Potter fan that I made you think about at the beginning, you remember that those are the people that made the series so successful. Not the magic or the super cool effects in the movies, but the people that read the books, love the writing style, and have an attachment to the series because of what they've learned and how it has shaped their lives.